Hey guys, just no one here. Finally back at you with some more immersive mods. And I decided to do things a little bit differently. I'm going to show you the load order first, and then we'll get into like showing you all of them in action and learning a bit more about them, in case any of them interest you. Dealing with backstories, missives, bounty preview, arenas of Skyrim, PS4 Project Khajiit, find slash call Khajiit caravans, Holidays PS4, Immersive City Gates PS5, No Def mod, and yeah, the PS4 version should be PS5, but they still worked on my PS5, and there's PS4 versions for all these. And if you're interested in seeing more about these mods, like learning more about them, then you can continue watching the video, but there's my load order and the names and little pictures for all the mods to help you find them, in case any of the things I show you interest you. Without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so how this holiday thing works is once you started the game, a little bit of time will pass, not long, about a minute, less than a minute even, and it will pop up this little menu here. So, you're going to choose the month first. I usually just start at the beginning of it, but you can technically do it anywhere. But there's another reason why we're going to choose the first, is because the holiday factor. So yeah, we're going to choose first day. I guess we'll go ahead and choose I don't know, 8 a.m. Alright, and you also choose your birthday. Same thing as before there, you're going to choose, well, I'm going to choose the first, just because technically that is my birthday, so yeah. Alright, and that's done. So yeah, we've done that. I forgot about this book too. You can see the book, which is a Festivals of Skyrim book. Yeah. You'll know that something's going on because there will be decorations. Much like this. This kind of looks like it's supposed to be Christmas, and we are still kind of in I guess January-ish time for the Elder Scrolls. So yeah, you see it's like some very kind of Christmassy looking decorations, to be honest. It's kind of the vibe it's giving me. Okay, so this one is called No Death mod, and what it basically means by no death is, technically speaking, our character is like a prophesized hero. Either we literally never go down in our story, or if we did go down, like let's say we're defeated but we're not killed, you know? Like just say you got your ass beat by some bandits, they of course took all your stuff and sold it off, but you didn't die. They thought you were dead, they left you for dead, but then you were discovered or whatever. Either you woke up in the wilderness or somebody discovered you and brought you to a temple in which you awake and realize, of course, my stuff's gone. Now, you can either have it like immediately known to you where it's at, or you can simply go to Riften and actually have them tell you where it is, but this of course costs you. So pretty much it's like you gotta go like do some underground connections to figure out like where these bandits took your stuff to. Like it's kinda cool. I feel like it's kind of immersive in the sense that, it makes sense that we never technically die, but it's not to say that we never technically lost. And it is a pretty drastic punishment for dying without ever actually meaning that your character actually died on their journey. But you can choose to not have that. So we're going to click on configuration here, then we're going to click on health. Now I would make your character essential just for the sake of you not actually dying. And it's on something when it's displaying it. That's how it works. So like I clicked on it not being essential, and now it is essential. So, and I know that because it says it. And then right now it's on knockout below 30. I don't like that because I feel like that honestly means that you kind of get gypped. Like you'll be defeated a little too fast. Yeah, I feel like 5% is better. You can go to 10, or 15, 30, or 20. Was it 25? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it does in increments of 5. But I think 5% is the best because it literally means you pretty much were beaten to an inch of your life. And yeah, I feel like that's where you lost the fight more than likely without feeling like you just kind of lost a little too easily, because 30% still got maybe like another hit or so left that you're not necessarily beaten yet. So I would go for 5%. simulates that you actually were defeated without feeling like you were gypped. And being essential means you're not going to accidentally die. You'll actually stay essential. And kind of the point, too, I feel like. Now, the loot. So, when you die, your stuff has like 3 different options, basically. Either you get to keep your stuff, nothing happens to it at all, no repercussion, you know. Or it's been stolen, and now it's in a chest somewhere, and you gotta recover it, and there is another means of like whether you immediately know where that chest is, or you gotta go to Riften and pay a fee to, you know, the shady underlings to figure out where it went. I kind of feel like the Riften way makes more immersive sense, but it might be also just a little bit more tedious than some people would like. Do you just be like, I'll just get it in a chest, you know, that know where it's at immediately. And yeah, you can have it just stay there. And you could even have the items completely destroyed if you wanted to be really fucking hardcore and have no chance of getting them back. And the only thing that it keeps is quest items. Like, it will not destroy or steal your quest items from you. It can't. But everything else, like your armor and everything you were wearing, gone. Or it's at least in a chest somewhere if you chose the steal items. So yeah, leave items means that nothing happens to your stuff. You get to keep all your stuff upon defeat. Destroy items mean it's completely gone. Steal items means that they're just been taken from you and are put somewhere in the chest in the world, and you gotta go get them back. Same thing with steal gold. You leave your gold, or you destroy your gold. Same thing. So you can even choose to have like only your items stolen and not your gold, or vice versa. Like maybe you want to keep all your armor and just lose out on your gold, which I honestly feel like is a pretty fair trade-off too. Like I might actually play something kind of similar to that, to where I don't necessarily lose out on all my armor, but at the very least I lost every bit of my septums, and that could honestly hit so fucking hard, bro. Way harder than even losing out on your armor set. Like I feel like you can find your weapons and armor and shit like out the ass, or you could make it even, but like if you just get all your money taken and have to build back up again, that actually hits pretty damn hard when I think about it. So yeah, that's something to really think about. So yeah, you could make it really hardcore if you wanted. Now here's what happens to you after you've been defeated and lost your stuff. You can either be teleported to the closest wilderness, that's where you'll wake up from. A random wilderness, which means yeah, you'll end up anywhere in fucking Skyrim, even clear across the map from where you were. Or you could end up in the Whiterun Temple, or the closest temple. Yeah, I don't know, you can choose the Whiterun Temple, I guess, because it's just a nice center point. You'll just show up there. But I feel like the closest temple makes the most sense. That whatever temple you're closest to, you should just show up in, and it kind of makes sense to me. You know, you're found, defeated, and somebody just took you to the temple because that just made sense to them. You know. And then info. So this is what I'm saying. If you made it to where you had to actually go to Riften and pay a fee, basically to the shady underlings to figure out like where your stuff's at, then yeah, it'll be costly. But you can also choose immediate, which means you don't have to do any of that, and it'll immediately show you the location. There are presets too. So I guess if you maybe didn't feel like playing with it, like making the settings yourself, you could just choose one of these. And then we'll go into other here. This is particularly for uninstallment. You can deactivate the knockout script, but it doesn't change your essential status, so you could basically make your character invincible. I'm pretty sure. Well, not invincible. Like, you'll go down, but you won't die. So you'll be like an actual protected or essential status NPC, basically. Like, you cannot die. You'll take a knee, you'll get back up. I'm not sure what the add fortify health is. I don't know if it just gives you more health or something. I'm not really sure. I'll turn it on. Oh, and there is an add recover item spell. I guess in case something goes wrong, or if you're just feeling really lazy and you just want your stuff back immediately, there is a spell. You can just click on there. Recover item spell. Alright, now we got dealing with backstories. This mod is particularly for backstories, but it does so much more than that. Because it actually continues not just from where your character started, like why they're in Skyrim or what they've been up to before they got to the whole start of the game. But what it actually does is allow you to pretty much do each stage of your life cycle. You start out like actually playing in your adolescence, so like young adults. Then you have like actual adulthood. Then you have middle age. Then you have old age, and even the end. Or you can choose to cling on for a little bit. Like it's pretty cool. And the first thing you want to do when starting dealing with backstories is you of course want to go to your powers, and you should see these three things, but you don't want to touch these yet. Go to remember your past, and it works just like regular power. It's going to say this is a complex overall mod. Actually read the mod description first. But trust me, I do read the mod descriptions, and I still don't know everything or have all my answers. So I'm not going to be able to answer everything to you either. But I can give you a general pretty good idea of how this works, because I messed with it a little bit and seem to understand, I think, more or less, what this mod does. It does warn you before you do this that if you have any items on you that are non-quest items, then you might want to put them in a chest or something. But it will start you out in this place when you use the power, and you'll go up to this book. This is your autobiography. Now this first part here is already one of the situations where I am not for sure if I'm correct, and I didn't get my answers, so I don't know. So, intelligence affects career skills, I'm assuming is just like the rate at which your skills themselves go up. And then your intelligence affects XP rate, I'm pretty sure is just the overall general XP rate, if that makes sense. At least that's my guess. I typically just go with the skills. I don't know. Same thing with this, I'm not really sure what either balanced or mid-maxed means. So, I usually just go balanced. I assume it just means that, yeah, it's pretty balanced with how the stats go, but the mid-maxed means you're going to be like, some will have a minimum, some will have a maximum, and some things might seem kind of better than others. I don't know. I'm not for sure. I don't know what they mean by all this. I usually just go with the balanced. And then I usually go with the linear skill increase for careers, because, again, I'm pretty sure it's just like a linear skill increase sounds better than the careers start higher with diminishing returns. I don't know if I really like that, so I usually just click on the first ones. I'm not sure what they all mean to really know what I'm choosing is what I really want, or what I think it is. But ignoring all that, let's get into starting our bio. So first up, you have your birth sign. This is just like your birthstone, and it's all it really is it's going to choose your birthstone for you. But technically, like in Oblivion, your birth sign is often tied to your birthday or whatever. So this kind of, I guess, is representing that. And I'm going to go with ritual because that's technically when my birthday is in the Elder Scrolls. And then here's your genetics. This actually does have a pretty good effect on your character. Like, I know it actually does. Stat-wise, and even like physical appearance-wise, your appearance doesn't actually make you ugly or anything, but it does change like your speech, I think. Like, it will have less or more speech starting out, depending on that. So that's what appearance does. We're going to choose above average. And notice how you have points here. We only had like 6 points. And whatever you have left is like going to probably be the worst of the worst. So pick really what you want. I wish I could say above average height though. Oh, now I regret it. Your height is actually something that does change your physical appearance of your character. If you're below average, you will be smaller than your character model typically is. And above average, higher than, taller than it typically is. But average is just like you'll stay the same, like how everyone's height of your race and gender is. But it is kind of cool how you can kind of change your character's height. So you can role play your character being like a big, tall, brute kind of Nord, or a short, Nord, shorter than the Nord typically is, And same thing with like intelligence and magic. Like, I think intelligence is just like your XP rate, how fast you gain your skills. Magic is like how high you start out with magic, like points, just shit like that. It's pretty self-explanatory, I feel like, for the most part. If you really just think, go ahead and make him average so he's not super short, and his magic and intelligence can just be below average. Makes sense, I guess. Alright, so now we're gonna write our childhood. This is gonna decide on how our character is built up to our adolescence, where we actually start playing them, and basically where the game starts. So, your parents. I feel like socially invisible is you're straight up homeless pretty much. You're beggars. Working class, it's a struggle to survive, but you make it. Middle class, you're not suffering, but you're not rich. Upper class, you're rich. We'll just say working class. We'll say there's some minors. I feel like it's more gritty. And then you can choose to be an only child. I feel like the partner in crime could be a sibling, but it also could be, I feel like, friends too. Like, I don't know. But I assume it means, in this case, you have, like, siblings. And you can also choose to be the runt of litter. I was gonna say only child. Then you choose, like, what you did, basically, in your childhood. Some sword fighting. I don't know, playing with fire. Hide and seek, just, good old kid fashion stuff. Then you can even choose a god or no god, in case your family or whatever was pretty much raised in a house that believed one of the particular deities, or again believed nothing. And so, just say Akadosh, sure. And now we'll keep writing on our adolescence. So this is like what we did basically in our teen years, I believe. Let's say we did firewood preparation, hunting, and of course we did our prayers. And like, yeah, what were we interested in? Like, what was our dreams and aspirations and things that we were getting into back then? The outdoors, maybe. Yeah. Girls and boys, fighting. Now, what are we talented at? Fighting, seduction, or like outdoor skills? I don't know, let's go fighting. And then this is something I noticed about these two. Disaster strikes will actually give you something that will change your story or whatever. Good fortune just seems to be like everything's okay. It doesn't actually grant you anything, which I don't know. I'm gonna save. You can exit out and save, which is nice. So yeah, if I would have clicked disaster strikes, then I would have had options before I was done. So yeah, you got cursed, economic turmoil, head trauma, illness, injury, job shortage, lycanthropy, and undeath. So you could actually be a vampire or werewolf by starting out pretty much with this too. It's another cool thing. But like all of these also will have some kind of negative effect, like actual more made up negative effect that they, instead of just becoming a vampire or a werewolf. So it actually changes your gameplay a little bit, essentially. Let's say we're a werewolf. But yeah, that is the end of it. Adolescence is your playing coming of age. So the next step would be adulthood. But we're gonna go and stop writing, even though we're gonna still pick our hopes and aspirations. Yeah. So what are our hopes and aspirations here? I feel like we would want adventure. Yeah, love, victory, fame, or wealth. I don't know. Wealth, I suppose. See how these things all popped up here? They also pop up in these things. Now, in order for this to complete and it to register everything you've done, you go all the way into this hallway here. You click leave your mind, and you just wait. Don't press anything, just wait. Let it load and do its thing. Just keep waiting. Yep, just Just let it load into the screen, yeah. And it will spit us back out wherever we last started this at. Alright, now you notice how remember your past is gone. We have let time pass and focus on the present. Focusing on the present will take away this option for a good long while and allow you to actually just pretty much just, yeah, you just play the game. Like you're focusing on the present. Right now, you really should focus on the present since you just did your, starting your story or whatever. So now you just play the game like you normally would, and eventually the option should pop up, and yeah, you'll be able to, or you could just let time pass too if you really wished and keep forcing through your, life. But you do fast forward through your life, like, you do get some level ups in, even though you've not actually done anything through that, time, like I was just forcing myself through it and I was getting level ups, so you might get some free level ups whenever you let time pass too. But during this time, whenever you let time pass, and you're in the next stage of your life cycle, you will be able to change your character. Particularly, I think they allowed you to do this so you could simulate your character getting older, having a hairstyle change, getting scars, weight change, but you can change anything. It's like full on changing your character again, except you can't change your race, basically, or gender, much like the face sculptor. But again, I believe it was mostly for you to simulate your character having age and scars and stuff like that. Things that can change throughout your life. Which is cool. I like that idea. It allows you to actually simulate it. And then you'll add more things just like we did in the book, and it just repeats itself. And yeah. You'll have your backstory starting out the game. You'll have each life cycle to keep making your character older. And you could have one part of your life, your adventure and glory. Then you maybe settle down, your middle age. But then maybe you, for some reason, get out of retirement in your old age and you actually go out in the shit again. But you're older now, so you actually have some reduced things. It will reduce your things based on your age. And right now, where I'm young and in my fucking prime, I actually have some buffs to my attributes and stuff. Which I'll have to go and show you. So alright. Now, here's our genetics. Eyes are always on you. Talent. Brawling. Experience at knocking people out cold without a weapon in your hand. And genetics intelligence. It takes you a while to understand things. Youthful. Due to your age, our vigor of youth, body, and mind increases your XP gain, stamina recovery, and health recovery. To stand atop the corpses of all who would dare challenge you. Excitement, discovery, thrill, and a new sight every day. A partner who truly loves you unconditionally. Enough gold to pay a king's ransom. Your magical ability is essentially nil. You shrug off injuries and illness alike. Oh wait, that's a different thing. Stout as a mule. You helped your parents by hauling ore for them. Your back is strong and used to carrying things long distances. You have been cursed with lycanthropy, over which you have no control. Oh shit. Yeah, that's another thing. Okay, so that's several things we granted us due to the remembering our past thing. And it will add more depending on what you choose through other life cycles. So there's a lot of progress and change in your character's abilities, and it's all kind of based off of what your character came from and what your character desires. And I'm pretty sure you can kind of fulfill some of those hopes and aspirations and stuff too. So that's I don't know, it gives you something to do, and it does feel immersive. I feel like it feels very immersive. And I'm sure there's a lot more to it. Like I said, it's a very complicated mod, as it said, so just play around with it, and I hope you guys have fun with it too. I forgot to mention too, you also will get an amulet of Akatosh because I chose Akatosh. These brawling gloves because I chose brawling. Minor clothes. I don't know what the robes are for. I think the robes it just gives you no matter what, to be honest. But yeah, even these clothes basically came with my backstory and the things I chose. So another cool little thing is in each of the towns and cities or whatever, you'll have these little missive
Can't
boards.
wait to kill another of
You have to
Godfrey's
find it in
boys.
each one of the places. They're not always going to be like right at the gate here, but usually they're pretty close. And when you click on these, and sometimes it might take a couple clicks too, like it's weird like that. But you click on it and it'll bring up your little list of things you can do here. Now, some of them are kind of like bounties, like hunting vampires and killing like bandit leaders and stuff. But others are more mundane and just like actually things you could do to work. So you could role play as a more common person rather than being like an adventurer or a bounty hunter. You can just collect some ore as a miner and make some potions as an alchemist, or be a courier, deliver a letter, gather some alchemy ingredients or stuff for mages. Like, you can do multiple things, and they're always different, and there's always a good selection of things for you to do. Another thing is if you are being a bounty hunter or like adventure-esque type person,
Don't mind for yelling.
then you probably don't always want to do
This is
the
Silver
same,
Blood Inn.
bounties and
I'll
stuff.
let you figure out
Sometimes
who
you just
owns it
don't
by
really
yourself.
feel like fucking with some Forsworn or something. Or even you're like a low level and they're like sending you to go to a giant and you're just like, nah, I don't feel like that. Now, I will say it can be a little bit tricky because a lot of the Creation Club stuff will have like the same dialogue as heard any rumors lately or got any work and stuff. So you will have to go through those, and those ones you do not have a choice in. They will be forced upon you. Only the actual bounties, when they say like men drop this letter by, that is the ones where you'll be able to read it and you'll be able to refuse it. You just take it if you actually want to actually take it, and you just exit out of it if you don't. And you won't have the letter, you won't start the quest.
Here, take a look at
Let's
this.
see what this one does.
Some of the Jarl's men came by and left this bounty letter.
So, okay. You know it's actually one of the bounties and everything because he said it and it popped up here. But this is where we can either take it and we've accepted it after we read it and seen what we're doing. But if we don't want it, I'm just going to press circle. No quest started. Didn't have to put the note in my inventory. And I'll
Have
show
you
you
seen
the
that
next
shrine of Azura?
See, that's a rumor.
Got a witch
Somebody
hunter in
forced it on me.
town. From the Degane the beggar got himself.
these.
Did you hear? The
Okay, so there's also some a mod that adds some arenas to the cities, kind of giving you that Oblivion Days feel. Now, you kind of have to find them. Some of them are a bit more noticeable than others. I noticed Markarth was actually kind of hard to find. I had to pay attention to the description and the mod description to actually find it. But Understone Keep, and then you go right along here, and it'll be this door here. The other ones in town have more like obvious wooden steps that clearly were not there. Like, I'm sure if you played Skyrim enough, you'll know they clearly are not there. This one was a lot more subtle than the others. Also looks a lot cooler. I haven't played in this one yet. I've looked at all the other ones. But yeah, so this is the Markarth arena. I bet this is the arena master.
Yes.
Okay, and one thing that the mod description warns you about is you do need subtitles on for a lot of the dialogue because there isn't actual dialogue, but there is subtitles so you'll know what he's actually saying. For instance, right there. Of course, who do you want to bet on? Okay, warrior team or the Forsworn team? See, each one's different too, so I'm gonna vote in Forsworn. Oh, I don't even have enough gold. I'm broke. You also gotta have gold to fight in the arena, unfortunately, too. Seems you don't have the funds required. Well, what's this do? Okay, oh, that's how you get down in the arena? See, that's cool. I like how they actually influence it with the dwarven stuff here. Oh, God. Yeah, this one's like way more crazy. Oh my God, this one's way more crazy, bro. What the fuck? Oh, ah! Okay, that's a lot more intense than a lot of the other arenas. And Whiterun is completely different, and it actually is a wave type of system. Like, you just go in and you fight waves of enemies until you basically die or you're done. Yeah. But they each have different things too. Like this one has hella traps. There's one that has like little flooring that you can open. I think that's in Windhelm, and I can't remember what's in Riften. And Whiterun's just a big circle pretty much that you just run around in. Like I said, it's waves of enemies, so they didn't really make as much going on there. But yeah, this is a pretty cool idea. Like I said, you can place the bets. I will say the bets are rigged. I swear to God, I just always feel like I lose, but that could just be me. And then, yeah, you can, of course, you have to have money to go into the fights, but you can fight yourself, and that's, you know, probably what most people would want to do anyways. Earn the money by actually fighting. But I like the immersiveness of being able to bet. Okay, now this bell is actually a part of another mod, but I feel like this was just the easiest way to get every single one of the caravans together so I could show you the differences. So this is a separate mod, but it's going to be used to showcase the actual mod I want to show you, which is just changing the Khajiit caravans into different variations of the Khajiit. It's really fucking cool. Like, it's pretty well done, I feel like. I mean, it was probably fairly hard to achieve what they really wanted, so the fact that they even did it in PlayStation is pretty good in my opinion. But yeah, the cat people are now different variations, like how they're supposed to be in the lore, and I will show you that now.
Bring your coins, but do not bring trouble. The warm sand
Yeah.
of elsewhere is
What the
far
fuck? Look at these motherfuckers! Like, holy shit!
all this talk of dragons returning to the world. The wind blows bitter
Little
cold
guy.
in this place.
She's kind of tall too. She's like more jaguar. And this bitch looks more human-like, like how there's human, more elf-like looking versions. So this guy.
You do not need to be
Khajiit as
faster
well.
than a traveler.
You have
You
good.
will only be faster than your friends. Some come to buy.
I gotta hurry up and get him now, I'll get in the way. Wait, kinda big too. I feel like they made him honestly all look cooler
You
too.
seek to make a
Will you look at me please, sir? Like they look like they got more personality or
May
something.
your
I don't
road
know.
lead you to
The way they
warm
look.
sands.
And they actually just look cooler. Like, I mean, she looks good. She actually looks really cool.
Warm sands, friend. How may this
Oh
one
yeah,
serve you?
here's another thing too. What that bell thing does is not only does it allow you to have bells at each of the locations that the caravans show up, that summons all of them. It doesn't just summon the ones that are supposed to be
I
there,
hope that's
but it
okay.
also puts markers so you can always be able to find them in the world too.
Come and see what is for sale, traveler.
But, like, just look at these guys. This is fucking cool. The only thing that would make it better is if you could actually pick to be one of the races, but unfortunately, you cannot. This is just for the caravans, I believe, too. So every other Khajiit should be the typical form of Khajiit that they take. Yeah, you still sadly only play as the one version. You can't play as the others. Still very cool to have seen them like that. Like, if you're really just trying to get more immersion, or you just really love Khajiits and you want more of them, that is definitely a mod. And this is another mod that can go with it, so you can actually, you know, make sure it's working, and just helps you find the caravans easier. I'll say, actually, yeah, so I can say step aside, intimidate him. I can say please let me into the city, persuade him, or I can just leave.
Safe travels.
But yeah, where you see how he's noticing it's nighttime. So yeah, I'm suspicious to him. I'm a nobody, and I'm wandering around trying to get into the city at night. Doesn't look good on me. So let's go ahead and like wait till like 8. No? Or he might let me in now. No? I gotta figure
Stop!
out.
In the name of the Jarl.
Okay.
Safe travels. How can I help? Order the Jarl. I command you to halt. By the order of the Jarl, I command you to halt.
Okay, so that was really glitchy. had been inside it, I stepped away from it. It just might take a while for the option to finally reappear. But you just simply say, I want to enter
Everything
the
here
city.
appears to be in order. We can move along now.
Now we can freely enter the city. Yeah, a bit of a bitch. They won't let you at night, especially if you're not like any respected or well-known person of any kind. Things like that nature. So it can be a problem, and as you've seen, it was a little buggy. That's the first time I really had that happen, but I figured it's because there was dialogue to enter the city, which probably does kind of mess with it. But I didn't have the same problem when it comes to the Whiterun encounter with the guards when you first go there, so I don't know why it was such a big deal here. Well, until next time, guys. Bye.